Welcome to another episode of Solitaire Quest. I'm your host, a Blood Knight of the Old Republic of Bloodganistan. Like, share, and subscribe. And today, at this moment, at this time, I'm reviewing Project Hail Mary. This movie is the feel-good movie and whatnot. Full disclosure, I did surf the high seas to watch this movie. And yeah, it was worth it, you know? So yeah, let's get into it. We got Jake Gyllenhaal's bodies all messed up. Some of these goddamn cards that weren't properly put into the card container for card box. So yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal's body's all messed up. All of the crew is dead except for Jake. He's the only one alive and he knows stuff. It's like times are changing. Times are changing. Women know stuff and do stuff. And so yeah, it's been 11 years and Jake is in another solar system. Jake is having flashbacks. The sun is being eaten somehow. Jake was a teacher. The sun is being eaten by space bacteria and Earth has 30 years left. So if the sun is getting eaten by space bacteria, it's like the sun's getting eaten by space bacteria. Then it would, and at such a rate, if it's getting eaten by space bacteria at such a rate, it's like, and losing that much mass, the sun should be going through like a red giant phase, you know, as it expands. If it's losing mass like that, and the suns have like a massive amount of mass, so it's like maybe it's like they were stating that like the Goldilocks zone would get disrupted or something. I don't know how that works. So yeah, wrote down my notebook. The sun is losing mass? Question mark. And yeah, we got some science bullshit. Go. So yeah, Jake gets recruited to do the science. They brought a sample. They somehow brought a sample of the stuff from the sun. We find out that the bacteria absorbs all the light. And we find out that the bacteria is made of carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. So, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a scientist, so someone who is a scientist comment. It's like, how can carbon and hydrogen and oxygen atoms form something that can withstand the sun? Like, how can it withstand the sun? Like a bacteria. How can a bacteria eat a sun? Like, how can it get close to a sun? You know, you got a space bacteria. It eats suns. The solar wind should be blowing the bacteria away from the sun. Like, it should be blowing the bacteria away from the sun. And yeah, carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. It's like, is there like a molecular compound that can withstand the intense heat And like, how does the bacteria escape the sun's gravity? And the magnetic field, how does it not get repelled? I don't know. I don't know all these things, but yeah. Someone explain shit to me. So yeah, wrote down my notebook. The sun should be consuming the space bacteria. It's like those elements can't cancel out those kind of heats. It's like, so yeah, we find out that the space bacteria is a black goo. Reference to Prometheus. It's like, okay, yeah, we're making Prometheus reference. He is here. So yeah, Jake does some soul searching. They buy some duct tape. They need to be in a place of total darkness for some reason, because this space bacteria, it should be like this space bacteria. It should be indestructible if it could withstand the freaking sun. I don't get why they need like a dark area. So yeah, the bacteria glows and it can escape. We find out that the bacteria is breeding on Venus, which is a metaphor, because Venus is like a fertility goddess and all that back in the olden days, if I'm not mistaken. Goddess of love, whatnot. So yeah, there we find out that they're using the bacteria as fuel. Somehow. Like this, they're somehow combusting the bacteria to make fuel out of it. And we find out that the astronauts will die in space because they don't have enough bacteria to go on a second trip. Like, the problem is, it's like they don't have enough bacteria for a return trip back to Earth, which sort of doesn't make any sense, because it's like they should be just flying in one direction. They should be just flying in like one direction, and like once you're in space, it's like you don't lose momentum unless you're acted upon. And they're going to be somehow flying at the percentage of speed of light. A significant percentage, and they're somehow not being turned into goo somehow. So yeah, meanwhile, it's like Jake ejects the dead crew, and they're at Tau Ceti, and there's another alien ship, and Jake tries to book it, but the ship follows. We find out that there are no shields on Jake's ship, even though said ship, it's like it can go a percentage of the speed of light and not kill the crew members in space. So it's like they have some kind of I don't know what they got, but it's like, yeah, it's like the ship is futuristic enough to cancel out certain inertial forces, but it's like they can't freaking go back and whatnot. And yeah, I wrote down my notebook. It's like, why there's no ram scoop like in Star Trek? If the bacteria is what powers the ship, it's like, why do they not have a ram scoop? So yeah, Jake goes on a spacewalk to intercept the object. Jake studies the object, and it is a star map. The ship docks with Jake's ship. And yeah, we got some rock aliens. So it's like, is the rock like a shell? And they're just squishy and whatnot. So yeah. The alien ship is spinning, I guess, for gravity. And Jake brings some more flashlights. And they're communicating via objects. Jake gets startled by the rock alien, and they reference Close Encounters. Jake can breathe in the environment. They communicate through math, which is pretty smart. They both have aliens. They both have sun problems. And they're the sole survivors of their respective crew. And yeah, for some reason, it's like the rock aliens, it's like they didn't discover radiation and they didn't discover relativity. So yeah, not sure why, but yeah, their ship is not properly insulated against the radiation. We find out that's why the rock people got killed on their ship. So yeah, on Earth in the past, Jake meets the crew, and the one lady is like, "I'd like lethal injection via heroin overdose." It's like, I wrote down my notebook based. But it's like couldn't they just, yeah. It's like the ship is not built. It's like this bacteria, it can be used as fuel, but the ship they're going on doesn't have a means of harvesting the bacteria. And yeah. They don't have a means of accessing that. They don't. The ship is not properly built. It's like they know the space bacteria's at this planet, but it's like they're not building the ship to collect the bacteria. And yeah, I just thought of this right now. It's like light takes time to travel, so it's like they'd be seeing Tau Ceti from the past after the bacteria had its way with the sun. So yeah, how'd they figure that out? It's like that the bacteria was hitting that system. So yeah. Rocky is a ball, and he's now Jake's roommate. We find, radiation killed Rocky's crew. They go into the holodeck, the entertainment section of the ship, with like all screens. Rocky has a mate, and Jake Gyllenhaal is divorced, which is unrealistic because it's Jake Gyllenhaal. The guy looks like Jake Gyllenhaal. It's like, why is he getting divorced? That doesn't make sense. So, yeah. Rocky's people, they're long-lived, as he has been with his mate for 108 years. Jake and the chick go to karaoke in the past with the other astronauts, and the chick can sing. So So meanwhile, it's like Rocky and Jake. They examine the astrophage. They named the planet Adrian for Rocky's mate because Rocky's mate's name doesn't translate, which is weird because they should have they should have an alphabet. So it's like they've developed communication, but they don't have like a cross alphabet, you know? So yeah, Rocky finds out Jake will die, and Rocky is sad. Rocky will give Jake Gyllenhaal his fuel so he can live. So yeah, he'll be delayed, and Rocky will be delayed going to his planet by 6 years. Like I said, it's like why doesn't the ship have a built-in ram scoop to harvest the freaking bacteria so that they can bring their astronauts home, you know? So yeah, in the past we find out the ship exploded that they were building. I guess they have two of them. They had two of them, I guess. And yeah, because there was because they have, it was like only a small amount of the astrophage is needed to basically, like they miscalculated the fuel amount and then boom. So yeah, they take their ship to capture the bacteria. Jake has to get the stuff into the ship. It's like realistically, it's like this bacteria, it's like they should have, I don't know, it's like they should have some kind of ram scoop or something, I don't know. But yeah, Jake has to get the stuff into the ship, and the ship gets damaged and is spinning. The ship is spinning, and Jake manages to hit the button. Rocky breaks his enclosure to help Jake. And I don't get, it's like, why doesn't Rocky have like a form-fitting space suit for his own people, you know? So yeah, Jake in the past gets volunteered to help, and he has to give up his life. And he ends up getting voluntold to do it. Realistically, it's like they should have a scientist there or something, a volunteer, who's Jake's understudy, and like they should be studying his work and all that. So yeah, Jake is alive from the spaceship spin. Rocky told him to save their worlds. Jake is super sad and Rocky might be dead. But then Rocky is alive and Jake hugs him. And they party in the not holodeck on Jake's ship. So yeah, they go to see Rocky's ship and it's all rock. In the past, Jake hesitates. Jake gets shanghaied into the mission. Jake and Rocky are now friends. Rocky says Jake is brave. And the whole thing is like, with this movie, is like Jake is saying that he's not brave, but he's actually brave. So his space bud confirms that he's brave. So yeah, they part ways and Jake goes into stasis. Which, it's like, couldn't he have just like taken his ship, go into stasis, and then go back to Earth very slowly? And yeah, there's a containment breach in the ship, and it's nearly ate in the bacteria. So the astrophage has like a counter bacteria that eats it, and they get the counter bacteria onto the ship, and it nearly eats all the fuel somehow. Somehow it could get to the fuel of the ship. So yeah, Jake sends the probes to Earth, and he has to save Rocky. And yeah, the old woman gets the probes. Jake goes to Rocky's home planet, and he can breathe the air, but they built an enclosure for him, and he is teaching the rock people stuff. And yeah, aside from the scientific bullshit inaccuracies, it's like I enjoyed this movie. It was pretty good. It was definitely a feel-good movie. You know, very hopeful, very optimistic, very optimistic. I liked it. So, so yeah, I thought Jake Gyllenhaal's performance was good. I don't know. I don't know if they actually got a real voice actor for Rocky or if it was just like an automated voice the entire time. I know it was AI. I know it's like it was an automated voice for Rocky and whatnot that they picked up, that Jake helped them pick, but it's like, yeah. So anyway, I like this movie. It was fun. It was feel good, and yeah, if you have an opportunity, go see it. Don't just pirate it like I did. So anyway, I'm your host, the Blood Knight of the Old Republic of Bloodcanistan. Like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, keep your sticks on the ice and keep your cards on the table, folks. Your cards on the table. So yeah, peace out, folks.